Having just cleared an enormous backlog of videos, what else would I do but go and create another one? So this match was played, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a bit longer. I was platooning with Hardest in the early hours of the morning, so I couldn't get on TeamSpeak. And I was playing my 430, one of my favourite tanks. El Halouf is not one of my favourite maps, especially now it's been changed. The northwest area of the map is no longer as viable for mediums as I think it used to be. You can't really get into that spot near the cap to spot enemies from across the map very safely, nor can you run across the map anymore and spot them from their own side of the valley. Now you basically have to go north into this series of rocks up here and just hope for the best. I would have liked to not knock that tree down, but I can only turn so sharply. And it doesn't matter because the T-71's lit me anyway, sorry. Speaking is hard. And I was unable to get a shot on him because I just didn't have the gun depression to do it. I shouldn't have sat there so long looking for one. That was a mistake. I'm lucky I didn't get punished for it. While everyone's trying to get shots on the 71 and the 62, I'm just trying to get into a decent position, which is really hard with this many big slow things in front of me. I see here I have a shot on the 62A, so I wait for a moment and take it blind. That one, I don't think it hit him, but I know I hit him at least once. That was a hit. So he hadn't moved, he actually backed out and stopped, even though he was still being shot at. I think I actually lit him on fire or something, because I ended up doing quite a bit of damage to him unspotted. Obviously that was a miss. The enemy T-71's gone for the cap fast strat, which never works on encounter, not even on El Halouf. Meanwhile, I push through the east side of this cluster of rocks here. We've got an Oblivious E5 and an ST1. It's cool, except for the part where I hit the tiniest bump on the ground and my gun depression gets all kinds of fucked up. The unfortunate problem about playing on the NA server is with my ping, quite often I'll do that. I'll roll forwards to take a shot, but I'll hit just the tiniest bump in the ground, and by the time I notice, I've already clicked, and shell's already in the air. There's not much I can do about it. I am on the back slope of this hill here, so I'm quite safe unless the ST1 gets really ballsy and pushes on me. The problem is I don't want to get hit by that GW Tiger, and he is quite good. Him and the ST1 are actually the only two genuinely good players on the enemy team. Thankfully, the ST1 is getting teamed up on. He's paying dearly for keeping me in check. The IS-8 actually tries to flank me here, but it's a big mistake because I'm already pointing my gun that way, so I was ready for the shot. And now I think, ooh, I'll get some hits on the IS-3 as well. But then I have a full health E5 working around the back of me, so I roll forwards. Instead of driving towards the E5, I want to drive away from it and also take out the IS-8, so that's one less gun that can hit me. I wind my way back around. By now the ST1 has forgotten I exist, so I'm able to get a quick shot into the back of him. E5's still there. Everyone's panic shooting. ST1 goes down, and here I fuck up and drive into a mountain, which was not good. I should probably have used that shot on the E5 rather than the T-34, but I wasn't thinking very clearly at this point. Got a little help there from Hardest and also one of our other tanks, and thankfully the E5 goes down before he can kill me. Gun depression usually isn't too much of a problem on the 430, but this north part of El Halouf is now absolute just hell for a medium without gun depression. The Centurion does really well up here, as does the Patton. The 430 not so much. Knowing I'm not likely to pin the front of an E3 at that angle, I just go for the tracking shot to try and hold him where he can be hit by my teammates as long as possible. Unfortunately, my second shot fails to track him, and he's obviously going to take a shot at me if I press. So I wait. I just probe him to try and keep his attention focused on me while the E50M flanks around, and misses. There's no point shooting his cupola from the front because it's actually not a weak spot. It's as thick as his frontal slope. Across the frontal arc of an E3, the only place most tanks can even hope to pin it is the very bottom strip of the lower front plate. And you won't even hit that from anything other than point blank range. Bit of a scrub shot there, but it doesn't matter. Cap gets reset, E50M blocks me, but thankfully the Ferdinand doesn't manage to land a damaging hit. I don't think he was expecting that either. Now what I did there is, it doesn't always work, and you'll see me fuck it up on both the 30 and the 416 in a second, but because I do lag slightly, I have to try and predict where my gun's going to be pointing and then click ahead of time, so even though my crosshair may not be on a tank, I know I'll hit it. Some of my older videos show it as well, particularly when I'm fighting around a wreck. I'll just roll out, and before my gun's even pointed at the enemy I'll click, because I know that the latency's working, not in my favour, but in a way I can predict. That saves me from having to expose myself any longer than absolutely necessary. But as I said, it didn't work out for me there on either the 30 or the 416, so I missed out on some damage there. I was kind of careless with my hit points in that engagement with the E5, but 407 is plenty enough to finish this match off. I got 5 kills already, but only from around 2k damage. Well, actually no, correction, about 2.5k, because I got a couple hits on the 62A. Now here, I decided not to head to the A0 position and spot Ferrati because I figured our E50 would do it, or our 4502. Myself being the closest to the east side of the map, I decided I'd just blaze straight through and try and see if the Arty was down on the cliff. I figured my teammates would spot A0 for me, but instead they have this bizarre pubby idea about giving me a top gun which I haven't earned. And so they all just mill around aimlessly instead of actually spotting and killing that Arty, which is really quite stupid. I think I've said it before, but I really do not like the idea of just giving people medals. If I see a target and somebody else has 5 kills and it's one shot, if I can hit it, I will hit it. There's no point giving somebody a medal. If they get the shot off first, then sure, they deserve it. Otherwise, no. I've also seen games lost because pubbies tried to give somebody a medal that they didn't earn. It's just really stupid. It defeats the whole purpose of the medals. I mean, there's no real reason to do it. Especially when it's a Top Gun. I have about 200 of the fucking things. I don't need any more. Regardless, because of the fact the pubbies were milling around aimlessly for so long, I was actually able to get there and kill the Arty before anyone else did. The 4502 spotted it, but he didn't try and engage it because it was pointed at him. So I'm pretty sure I have said it before, but don't try and give somebody a medal. If they genuinely are going to earn the medal, then they will. Deliberately holding shots just to give somebody else a Top Gun is fucking stupid, and it's a good way to lose games. More to the point, deliberately holding shots to get yourself a Top Gun by picking off low health tanks other people are doing the damage on is the shittiest fucking thing, and I had it happen to me just the other day. Do not fucking do it. If I catch people doing that, I team kill them, because it's absurd. Hardest tries to team kill me there for shits and giggles. Unfortunately for him, he is driving a Batchat Arty, so he doesn't have any splash whatsoever. But yeah, with regards to the holding of shots for medals, don't fucking do it. Like, I don't honestly care if it's a Top Gun, a Radley Walters, a Pools, a fucking Rice and Eyes. Don't hold your shots to try and get a fucking kill-based medal. It's just so scummy. Forcing the rest of your team to do all the work and then just firing a couple shots to clean up. I mean, I've had people brag about, oh, well, you know, I got a Top Gun and you died in the first 5 minutes of the match when I've done something like, you know, 2-3k damage, and they have done 500 damage but got 6 kills. That barely even fucking counts. And you can tell the kind of people too. I've actually seen people play waffles, and instead of clipping one tank, they will wait for a bunch of tanks to get low health and just pop them all in sequence. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because they are taking guns out of the fight, which is the whole aim of shooting at tanks. But the problem is, if you hold your shots in order to do it, you may have just lost half your team just so you can get some stupid fucking medal. So don't do it. And if you catch other people doing it, tell them what's up, because it's just a remarkably shitty thing to do, and a lot of people do it, and it needs to be curbed. Anyways, thanks for watching. There will be plenty more videos as time goes on. I've got a backlog of something like 30 videos to clear right now, and knowing me, I won't be able to stop recording them after that, so there will be World of Tanks videos for the foreseeable future. Don't worry about that. I do have something like 150 odd tanks now. I mostly play tiers 9 and 10, but if there's anything you particularly want to see, just let me know, and if I have it, I'll try and get some videos up of it. Obviously, I do tend to play certain tanks more, my Centurion, my 430, and also for my tier 8s, my Type 59 I tend to play the most of. I've also taken a big liking to the Conqueror and the 215B, so there'll probably be a fair few games of that up. But I mean, if there is anything you want to see, and if it's a tank I have and it's one I actually do play, like I have equipment and crew and everything on it, then I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the field.